Have you ever RV lifed a little too hard? That's what I say when I have days like yesterday. Day one of being back on the road again, traveling constantly. We're heading to the Hershey RV Show. Now, normally when we travel, we try to leave early in the morning, get on the road between 9 and 11 o'clock, only travel for about 3 hours at a time if we're 300 miles, whatever comes close, and we really try to get to our next destination before 3 p.m., which means we miss all the rush hours. That's the point. Unfortunately, that's not how things rolled out yesterday. We were actually waiting for new DJI mics to arrive that we had ordered. They were supposed to be here on Friday, Tuesday, and they still hadn't shown up. They were supposed to show up at noon on Tuesday, so we thought if we stuck around and waited, we could get them and not have to juggle all of that forwarding stuff. Yeah, so as the afternoon went on and it got closer to noon, we got an update around 11:30 that said it now wasn't going to arrive until after 9. We couldn't wait that long. We had to get on the road. But still, getting on the road about 3 hours after schedule. RV life kind of has this weird thing where when one thing goes wrong, it kind of snowball effects and then everything seems to go wrong. That's what I mean when you RV life a little too hard. Oh, leaving behind schedule did not exactly set us on the right path. We of course had a lot of rush hour traffic to fight through multiple towns. Traffic wasn't so bad though. It just makes for what should be a 3.5 hour drive turn into more like a 5 hour drive. This also meant that we weren't getting to our harvest host until after 5 o'clock. They closed at 5. So that also meant we were not going to be able to enjoy this winery like we would have wanted to after a long drive day, relax with a bottle of wine. Nope, wasn't going to happen. Now this winery actually said in the harvest host, if you weren't going to make it before they closed, call them. You can order a bottle online and then they'll set it out front for you when you got here. However, we were still so frazzled just getting on the road late, trying to get fueled up, trying to get food in us while we're driving, all these things. I didn't even think to look at the reading until basically 5 o'clock. To give our travel day a little bit of credit though, because normally fuel stops, nightmare. And especially on RV days, where they're 2 RV of a day, they're really bad. Last night was fine. Pulled into a KC's on our way, fueled up, got hooked back up, on the road, no issue. Normally doesn't happen that way. Now, as we got closer to our destination, I noticed that Yori was just not herself. She wasn't her usual, like, navigating, watching, just excited about what's going on. She was really laying down on the ground a lot, and she didn't seem like she felt very well. We got about a half mile from our harvest host, right off of the freeway. The exit, Yori stands up. She puts her paws on the front, like center console area where it's actually like the housing unit for the engine is underneath of it, but it kind of bumps up. She puts her paws on that and then promptly vomits all over the dash, all over the cap that's housing the engine, all over James's feet as he's driving. The harvest host here closed at 5 o'clock. We roll in at 5:06. And as much as we would have loved to try to run in and grab a bottle of wine right as they were closing, we now had bigger fish to fry. Of course, we get to this winery and the first thing we got to do is level. Before we can even clean up this mess, we have to level the RV. And because it is a winery parking lot and not a campground, that leveling took over an hour. Okay, I don't know if you can see this through the camera, just how angled and of a slope this parking lot is. You can tell that Class C is clear up in the air on the front, so it's not really safe. James is running the generator for coffee, but as you can see, this back driver's side was off almost 7 inches according to the level mate. So we had to jack it up really high just to get it level, and we even had to detach the Jeep, which normally for a one-night stay is way too much of a pain in the ass. I mean, look at that. Also, that one up front kept slipping, so we had to get the rubber mat down. Look, we've done this before. Leveling this thing can be a nightmare sometimes. It's much harder to level a Class A or motorized vehicle than it is to level a travel trailer or a fifth wheel, believe it or not. And we had all of the pieces, like the rubber mat to go on here to keep it from sliding away. We have a bunch of extra blocks so we could get it up high enough. But when you're fighting that for over an hour, especially after a long drive day, you're exhausted. And especially when you know you got to go inside to clean up a dog vomit. Is that after all of that, shocking, I did not have the energy to go and cook dinner. And I still actually had emails to respond. We're still organizing a bunch of stuff for the Hershey Show, like a massive giveaway. I'm telling you, Nomadic Influence, along with all of the content creators, including Fly the Coop, are doing a big giveaway for all of you out there that can't make it to the show. And for those of you who can, I'm talking about, we're giving away TPMS systems, we're giving away 4-night stays to campgrounds, we're giving away AllStays subscriptions, water filters, you name it. So I'm still organizing that while we're trying to get that situated. So that's what I mean when you RV life a little too hard. Some things just snowball and the day gets really exhausting. And then you wonder why am I still doing this? It wasn't that bad. Today is day 2. We are headed to Indiana to a dinosaur museum. And I am so excited, if you can't tell. So follow along for the adventure. Thanks for flying with us.